Hello. No, then welcome to my life. This is Colin Dawson. Just to say this outright, with everything, um, you all are absolutely retardedly worthless. I wish I could say that it's like cops, but there's nothing else except like you're straight up Nazis that killed everybody and said you're the only ones who meet the height requirement. I really do mean that to every single municipality from Polk County to Cumberland County with their inbred, stupid undercover to the Secret Service wannabes who shot people in the 80s and took their badges and said, I was naturally just moving myself up because I have the right to bear arms, therefore I don't have anything over defense and I just take whatever I want. On down through the fake FBI from the Japanese conquestual army of World War II to anything else. And you all having your celebrational things over the Taliban coming to Knoxville. And it's going to be fucking over with all of you all. As you've been saying all day long with this. I mean, your illegal hacks to try and do everything, going through the basement of the house and saying that you can set a laser communication between cable jacks that are within 6 yards of each other, left or right, and through rooms and everything else, and undirt filled sheetrock structures. I just got to look at all this and say, yes, it is totally capable of it. And you even do it from the houses next door because they're so close to each other. That's why everybody wants an acre on each side of their house nowadays. This is just fucking ridiculous with it. And the fact that you've been running the old shit that every 20 years to 25 years, your family that had basically bullshit swamp water, worse than the worst UFO footage you ever saw, sold to the United States federal government because, everything that's worthless is just put into Operation Paperclip. But somehow you've not been put into Operation Paperclip yet. And you just go, we're not German. And it's like, don't worry, Hitler wasn't either. He was Liechtenstein with everything else. But, as it is, the German people are extinct now. I don't care, you are. You just live in an area that is a state like Italy underneath the ruling class of Rome, as they all say they've learned from the USA with the Washington District of Columbia. Anyway, looking at it with all of you all constantly going, whoever does anything without investigation. What do you mean we're not supposed to use people's tendons and ligaments or bodies as communications? This has happened 3 times to me in my life. I've lost almost everything in my left shoulder. He's supposed to be normal aging, so his belly's hanging off of him and everything else. And it's like all of a sudden people just get fat overnight by like 20, 30 pounds. We need to have so much metal in people's bodies so that we can actually communicate. You can't take these things away from us. Daddy, mama. It's like Nick Peters thinking that he has the right to go out there with all of his people. And one of them, yes, he got on President Obama's personal thing out there and they'd be bringing over their little stuff, as he likes using the Welsh Nazis that were lab scientists on people that come from some dog eating cult out of Wales that are like about 3 foot tall. And anybody at the Scipio, Wallace Memorial, anything else in their fake little synagogues. That's illegal religion. You cannot have anybody in religion, and also you coming here and going, I have Asperger's. I didn't know that was wrong, so everybody's organs had to be microwave shrink by me, or anything else with that. I just look at it totally as just how in the hell have you not gas chambered these people? I mean, they openly participated in the Zoo Man murders and killings that you basically found out how to kill off their families and everything else and go, well, there's 5 people that were United States federal citizens, and this one Secret Service person is going to go to jail, and he'll find out everything in the jail as we move him around between the federal systems. Same like with Bus Stop 13 and everything else. And you only put Native Americans if you can, or anybody who would be like too Jewish Mediterranean that you're like, we don't have a deep enough DNA test to tell if they are. Not with any of those, prize ponies from Poland or anything else. I understand they've eaten horse and somehow you go, they're not Confederate. And I keep looking at them. I mean, that's really the only thing that they really have at all their celebrity situation up there in Poland, if they aren't the Holy Roman Empire, that they just keep going. It sounds so great. It's like it's one Christianity I could choose. I mean, that's the honest truth with it. I mean, I don't care how bad I am over it, but, and for some reason, everybody just keeps coming around going, Colin, aren't you like, from somewhere around there? No, no. We've had all this. Shut up. Quit saying kosher, they say Amish up there. It's not brain. It's like a thing that goes in between. It's like everybody in Mexico now just says money instead of dinero. Or whatever the hell. Anyway, this whole thing with Nick Peters trying to set me up with a fast today and saying this, that, and the other, and that he's my exercise coach. Same with the larges and everything, saying what true bodybuilding is. And same with Dustin and all of his family and McGee saying that workouts are hookers. Quit trying to put your police and FBI and Oak Ridge Secret Police down through the Secret Service and everything else people to go around there and slum the neighborhoods up just so that you can say, well, you have to count these people as demographics or else the criminals will know. You can't keep buying up all of the property here and can't keep constantly trying to weasel your way in as illegal people of your country. You're not illegal immigrants, you're war combatants. Now, listening to you all scream about how the Taliban's coming to Knoxville and you're looking for people with thick eyebrows and slight bits of color pigmentation in them, this is ridiculous with it. I know D up in Cherokee that you're now going, dude, she looks more like you if you can take your glasses off, will be probably one of the first people I'll hear something about and they'll come back to me on it. And they'll be like, Colin, you and your tribe are out there in their tribal warfare killing people. You just need to shut up unless you're going to get the real DNA and tell White Pine Police to stop getting a fake check with Dolly Parton. And tell her hooker squads to shut up. That she runs for everybody out there saying they have rights over your historical rights don't mean for shit. And your religious rights means that you can only be on your own property acting in prostitution. Not anything of a public street right away or anything else. And indecent exposure in your yard for whatever it is in 500 yards from a church. So, unless you're in the privacy of your own home and, depending on whatever's done for, passing of money in your front yard, shut it. Or else conjoined properties and everything else that don't happen on the sidewalks for public right away. Now, with all of your lawsuits, why in the hell are you that scared of a bunch of blue brigades that showed up and took over whatever it is and used a train up there to steal whatever it was from the passengers and everything else and this, that, and the other? And traded their gold stuff out with basically same style stuff with gold-plated dime store knockoffs. Believe me, I went through it. Believe me, none of the parents that I have anymore would even be able to remember what they had for lunch yesterday. So, for everything out there, screw off. I'm not a foster kid. This is just what you all do going, we had the right to come here and kill anybody we see and live in their houses. This has nothing to do with colonization or anything else like you all do that you're continually doing here and will always send colonials over here to this place. This has nothing to do with anything because the United States government is supposedly Native American, and you all just want to keep saying, well, it's a slave, whatever it is, just like Benjamin Netanyahu walking around there, and you go look at that one. He wasn't ever undercover. He wasn't ever anything. He just wanted to come to a sleepy little town like you all do going, these people really don't watch that much television. These people really are separate from the United States government. It's like they all work 3 or 4 jobs and don't have illegal immigration. They keep up with people overseas, and they write letters to each other and everything. This can't be had. These people don't really use credit cards. Look at all the money and stuff that we can get from here. You just don't understand what these things are worth in another place. Well, that's up there in New York, and that place only does that there, or this is only in California, and that place only insures things there. Well, this is all property of this, and we've seized this, and we've seized that, and go around there and throw some marijuana stuffed cigarette filters in there, and be like, you pack your own. Go to hell. Every damn one of y'all. Do not ever try to confiscate me for your illegal religion. It is illegal for you to do that. And on New Year's is when everybody really was free. I don't care. Juneteenth is just, hello, the French people that they brought over here because the French black Gauls got whatever, and then they started taking over all the slaves and everything else. And all the black people in Texas, they all just said, we're not Jewish. And they said, okay, you get 3 Native Americans, go get them from Oklahoma. And then put chains on their feet and tell them to fight out in front. Juneteenth may be for 10% of the entire slave population. And if you listen to everybody else out there with it now, black people from Africa are extinct. It's just the black Gauls that went there because it's like they kept losing the coin toss. And it's like, they got to have the white people rule and colonize the world. And then there are black people that are Gauls and everything else that you all can't tell the difference between Africans. And Ronald Reagan said, until there's a 34-point DNA test, we can't tell the difference between Gauls and black Africans. And they all said that they would all pay for this. Well, I think they're still looking about anteing up. I don't really care. You can say I'm racist. It's the truth. You go, black people never sell themselves into slavery. Black Romans with the Equestrian Principality do. That's a fact of life. That's dogma. You go, I'm an English Protestant. You can't be in this country. Under what basically Donald Trump said, tightening the noose. You basically can't even work in this country. Now, this is ridiculous. And you can go back to President Obama saying that there's a king, so whenever there's a king in England, it'll be even worse. Now, I don't really care. You can call me racist, and it's like I have to have Derek from work constantly, Bruner, hacking into my fucking stuff, saying that I need to stay away from him than everything else here today because the Taliban's coming. When his family made the Taliban's Axis powers Nazi. And he wants to go in there and be like, Colin, you were held a slave. You're my ticket to black pussy over on. Fuck you. I was never held a slave. You might have taken me as a prisoner of war for a long time, but that's just it. It's like January 1st, everyone is removed from any of slavery, which is Christianity, which is the Catholic Church, the Protestant Church, the Orthodox Church, the Gnostic Church, the Tribalistic Church, basically Ethiopian Church, and the Coptic Church, and the Church of Constantine. And I know I'm probably leaving one out there for number 7 idiot, which is basically like the Roman House Church and everything else and all of that. And, then it's just basically just supposedly there's nothing there. And then it's like, yeah, I know the Bible and nothing, and Romanian Catholics say nihilists. Now, screw off. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care anything. And honestly, I think that there should be a DNA test for all the black Gauls that went and executed all of Africa and have been bragging here up until they heard that the Taliban was coming here, that they had killed off all the Africans the last 1,000 years, and that it's just getting black people from wherever they're at, and it's like, come back to Africa and let us kill you. I really have fucking had it with the hack stuff, and being like, we were trying to wake you up at this time. Everybody gets up at 6:30 in the morning. It's the only way you can do any of your stuff out there, and you only need 3 hours of sleep with how much we've trimmed your brain with sonic stuff at you and everything. They'll never say that it's, Havana sickness, because we did that to you a long time ago. And now it's just minor, minute details of product management, because you're one of our products. Because as a contractor, you count as slaves, and you always have a contract that you work on and everything. And it's like, well, if that's true, that only counts as my salary member of management. And I'm not any form of management, never have been, other than my own personal business. So you can say that I'm the most racist person in the world, and, be like, white people, we're going to be taking you over there for Juneteenth. And it's like, I want a DNA test to find out where he came from, because they can tell what food you ate. And if you're from Texas, you own my ass as a slave, supposedly, because you owned all the Native Americans as it for your freedom, because only Jews could be sold into slavery, and that's where most of the Confederacy got its paid wage workers and everything else for support. And then they got their rations mostly from eating the slaves that weren't all black. Like the house slaves we're killing off right now because they're Orientals. But, Juneteenth is a national holiday, and Joe Biden wanted to try and, cleanse himself because he goes, I'm a Christian and a unionist, not an imperialist and a confederacy. And it's like, I'm part of the union. We know you're not part of America. It's Christian. It's what you get classified into whenever you come over here in your mass exodus from different areas. And they say, haven't you ever read the Constitution? Whenever a Nazi hands me a little bitty pamphlet book and go, Rand Paul gave me that? Yeah, Rand Paul gave me that. And it's like, so Rand Paul gave you that? I did say that. I didn't say Rand. I said Rand. I'm just wondering about what your accent problem is with being able to understand anything and pretending that you have you're deaf in one ear. And you switch out every 2 hours at work to an hour and a half. But, I can just keep fucking with you until you can say you're a police officer. Then it's like, unless you go through the videotape with the audio and tell me exactly what each and every single thing is there, and I confirm it the way that you confirm it. I just don't have to, and I can have a lawyer actually say that, which doesn't count as a confession in any way, shape, or form. So I will fuck with you. Also, to the contractors taking the bugs off and everybody else, or else the little deggies, and putting them on top of the conveyor belts, please stop. And also, it's like, we have to have us 9 people can never be stopped by security or anything else. It's like, we're not even really security there. It's just to try and see what all you'll do at a shipping manufacturing facility like they do at Walmart. I'm not standing around there for that shit. If this one doesn't fire me from a job, then I'll go and find something else.